Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at how to use Microsoft Excel to plot area charts and Treemap by making the necessary calculations. You can see that we've got two variables from our main data, variables like region, customer segment, and quantity sold. So at first we want to make some calculations to find the total quantity sold between a cross tabulation of the values, region and customer segment. So at first we want to make it more clear by providing a look of our final outputs of calculation. So let's import all the unique values of region in this particular cell. To do that, we will start by assigning the equal sign and then call up the unique function. Then the next thing we'll go to the region, the variable region, and then select the range of values there. Ctrl Shift plus the downward arrow. Then we close the bracket and then we hit enter. So as you can see, we have the unique values under the variable region, such as south, east, north and west. So the next thing we'll do is to do the same thing for the variable customer segment. So as usual, we introduce our equal sign and then our unique function. Then we select the range of values that's under customer segment. Then we press Ctrl plus Shift plus the downward arrow and then we close the bracket and then we hit enter. So as you can see, we've gotten our unique values for customer segments such as individual, business and wholesale. So we'll have individual on this cell and business over here, and then we'll have wholesale here. So we have individual, business and wholesale. So we'll go ahead and delete this one over here. So as you can see now, we have a cross tabulation, and within the cross tabulation we can see that we have on the row wise table we have the unique values of region, and then column wise we have customer segments. And now we want to calculate the total quantity sold at first for south and individual for each combination of these values. So let's see how we can calculate that. So we are going to be making use of the sum ifs function. So assign the equal sign first and then sum ifs. So why we're making use of the sum ifs function is because we have more than two conditions to fulfill for the total calculation. So the next thing, or the first thing we're supposed to provide, it would be the sum range, and our sum range is the quantity sold, which is our numeric value. So we select that and then we have to lock it. So we lock that. So that when we drag it across for other cells, we would have an accurate result. So we introduce the comma sign. So the next thing we would have to provide would be the criteria range 1. So our criteria range 1 would be the whole region variable. So we select that and then we lock it as well. We then introduce the comma sign, and then the next thing we'll have to provide would be the criteria. And for this, our first criteria will be south. We log this value as well. So we introduce the comma sign, and then we provide our criteria range 2, which would be our customer segment variable. We select that, and then we lock it as well. Then we introduce the comma sign, then we select our criteria 2. So our second criteria would be individual, but this time we are not going to be locking this, so we would provide our closing bracket, and then we hit enter. So we can see what we have there. So let's drag this for other values such as business and wholesale. So we drag it row wise, so we can see. So we can see the total quantity sold for the region south under individual, business and wholesale customer segment. So we can as well drag this downwards for other regions, but for this we'll have to make some changes. So over here we have E3, that is the cell number, but it's no longer E3, it's now E4, and we hit enter. Sorry, but we have to also change the second criteria, which is now F2, that is for individual, and then we can now hit enter. So we have the total quantity sold for under the region east. So let's drag this across also. So we have those. So here as well we would make changes. So this will not be E3, this is going to be E5. So let's change that, and then we're still going to have F1 over here, sorry, F2 I mean, and then we hit enter, and then drag it row wise. And then lastly, for the region west, we double click and make changes as well. This is going to be E6, and this is going to be F2, and then we hit enter, and then we drag it row wise as well as we have been doing. And then we now have the total quantity sold for different region under different customer segments. So let's adjust this really quick. Let's select this, then go over here and then change this to number. So I'm sure it's making sense to every one of us now. So the next thing we'll do is to be able to visualize it with an area chart. So we have to select the whole result, then go over to the insert tab, and then go over to other charts, and right here we have area, then we click on that. So here we have our area chart. So we'll be making a little adjustment to the chart title. So our title is going to be total quantity sold by region and customer segments. So we can see that the area charts is showing us all the areas or regions where the total sale was made, and we have that the wholesale segment is comparatively higher because the area of this distribution is visible compared to other customer segments like individual and business, except in the east, where we can see here where we have the business segment leading. So we can now see how we have been able to plot an area chart. So that is it for now. So let's go over and see how we can plot a tree map as well. So let's see how we can plot a tree map. To plot the tree map, at first we are going to calculate the average quantity sold in each city. So over here we are going to have city, and then here we are going to have average quantity sold. So let's make them bold, and then this one also. So let's import the unique values for our variable city. So we assign the equal sign, then call up the unique function, and then select the range of values, close brackets, and then we hit enter. So we have the unique values for the variable city. We have San Jose, we have Los Angeles, and so on. So the next thing we'll do is to calculate the average quantity sold. For this, we're going to make use of the average if function. So the first thing we'll have to provide is the range, which is going to be our city. We select that, and then we introduce the comma sign. Then we don't forget to lock this so that when we drag it down we can get accurate values for our other values. So the next thing we'll provide would be criteria. So the criteria for this will be San Jose, but we'll not be locking this. We'll introduce our comma sign, and then we'll provide our average range, which is the numeric value, that is quantity sold. So we'll select this, and then we'll be locking this as well. We'll be locking this, as I said, so that when we drag it down for other sales we'll be able to get accurate values. So after that we would introduce closing brackets, and then we hit enter. So the average quantity sold for San Jose, we can see it as 49. So we'll drag it down for other sales. Then we'll have to go over to this part here, and then we'll select percentage. We go to numbers, and then we select number, and then we have our average quantity sold for each of the cities that we have. So the next thing is to go ahead and plot our tree map. So we select our results, then go over to the insert tab, and then we select this, go over to the insert tab, then we go to other charts, and then So here we have our tree map. You can see we have been able to insert the tree map. Then we have our title as average quantity sold by city. We have cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, San Antonio, Phoenix, and so on. So you can see how we've been able to visualize the data sets with using Treemap, like the quantity or the average quantity sold with that. So we've been able to visualize that is for each of the different regions. So I hope you learned something today on how to use Microsoft Excel to visualize data sets, that is using Area Charts and Treemap. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, do well to drop them in the comment section below. Thank you and see you in the next video.